Hey boys, in your textbook, page 8, we have a property of angle bisectors. The condition is when we know that BH is the angle bisector of angle ABC, which is angle ABH equals angle CBH. And then we have the result that for every point on BH, example is a P here, and then we draw the perpendicular foot here and another perpendicular foot here, then the distance have to be equal. If the point is here, we draw two perpendicular foot here, then the length should be equals. 就好似接紙飛機咁樣，咁你接完紙飛機咧，左右兩邊一定係對稱嘅。咁呢個相同道理啦，所以佢會製造咗兩個 congruent triangle 出嚟嘅。And the reason is that the upper triangle is congruent to the lower triangle. Okay, and that's why they have the equal distance. And the converse of this property is always true there. Also the same reason because of the congruent triangles. Then we can see the example. Page 10. In the question, we can see that QT is the angle bisector of angle PQR. And hence, we have these two angles are equal. And by the property of angle bisector, since S lies on the angle bisector, and then SP equals SR. And by the question here, and then we will know that triangle PST is an isosceles triangle, and therefore the angle T is 26 degrees. And then in triangle PQT, we consider the angle sum of triangle. And since QT is the angle bisector of angle PQR, and therefore the angles in red color will be equal. That is, angle PQT will be equal to angle RQT. And therefore, PQR equals that is 76 degrees. And that is finished. Page 10, example 6.5. In this example, and you can see that it is given that AB equals BC. And these two angles are 90 degrees. Therefore, by the converse of property of angle bisectors, we will have this angle is also 31 degrees. And I will write it down. Okay, and then BDC angle equals 31 degrees. And then we consider the quadrilateral ABCD. Consider the angle sum of this quadrilateral. Then angle ABC equals and we get the answer as 62, 101, and 80. And with the recent angle sum of polygon. And then we consider the triangle ABC, the yellow line. And because BA equals BC, and then we have the base angle equal. And then angle ACB, one of them is equal to 180 degree minus 118 degrees, and then over 2. It is angle sum of triangle. And we get the answer. If you are not able to use the converse of property of angle bisectors, then you can consider the congruent triangles. The green one is congruent to the yellow one, and then you can do the same thing and get the same answer. On page 11, the property of perpendicular bisectors. Well, if we know that CP is the perpendicular bisector of AB, which is with the equal distance and perpendicular here, and then we will have the result that the line joining A and P and B and P will have the equal distance if another point here, which is on the perpendicular bisector of AB, and the length should be equals also. And that's it. It is called the property of perpendicular bisectors. And converse is always true there. Okay, let's add next page. And from the question, we will have CD is the perpendicular bisector of AB. And since E lies on the perpendicular bisector of AB, therefore, AE equals BE by the property of perpendicular bisector. And hence, AE equals ED, because in the question we will know that this condition. And then in triangle AED, it is isosceles triangle because AE 等于 ED, and hence angle ADE will be equal to 22 degrees with the base angles isosceles triangle. And in part B, we consider the triangle ACD. And this angle is 90 degrees because it is the perpendicular bisector. And then in triangle ACD, angle CAE equals Okay, example 6.7, there's no figure here, therefore we have to draw it by yourself. First of all, PQ, I think it's here. And then we draw the perpendicular bisector of PQ. Then here is the midpoint of PQ. And then we draw another line here, which is the endpoint of them is R and S. It is quite trivial that quadrilateral PRQS is a rhombus. Okay. Then we write down the reason here. Therefore, all the angle we have C here. Then angle LCP will be equal LCQ and QCS and PCS. And PC equals CS， 6/2 PC equals QC 8/2 then PR equals RQ equal QS equal SP. And here there are 4 congruent triangles with these 4 different colors. Therefore, each side of the quadrilateral PRQS, we just consider one triangle is okay. And we consider right hand side triangle, and that is 3 square plus 4 square, and take the square root of it, which is 5 cm. And then the required perimeter is 5 times 4, 20 cm, and that's it. Oh, no units for this question, so I just cross out the cm here. And for example 6.8, we see that these 2 lines segment are equal in length, and here is a right angle here, and then by the converse of property of perpendicular bisector, we will have this line equals 20 cm in length. And then we write it down, and I think it is also the property of isosceles triangle. In secondary 2, we have learned it before. And part B, it is given that there are similar triangles. Well, no need to prove the similar triangles. Just use the corresponding sides of similar triangles can finish this question. Okay, first of all, I will explain how to do this. To find CD is here, which is the line in AC. Therefore, we find AC in the sentence. AC is here. AC is here. Then the corresponding side of AC is AE.跟住揾多條知道邊長嘅邊就得㗎啦。AB 知邊長嘅 ，so we use AB, and the corresponding side is AD. And here's the reason name. Then we place it by the length. First of all, AC is just write down AC, and AE is 20 cm, AB is 40 cm, and AD is 25 cm. And then we have AC equals this, and cancelling. Therefore, it is 32 cm. And then CD equals 32 minus 25, which is 7 cm. And that's it.